They're literally standing next to each other, playing Soggy Waffle with the Chaos Emeralds. B.
Us.
N.
Burp, burp, burp. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rank a Bone podcast, Team Need a Bone's one and only opinion-based podcast where we tell you how to think about your favorite franchises. I'm your host, Bander SN, and joining me, as always, is the master of all things emeralds, Joey Spicy Fries. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Why are we here today, Joey?
We're here to talk about another Sonic game.
Another Sonic game. Because, of course, we are ranking every mainline Sonic game from Sonic 1 to Sonic Forces. Hopefully we don't get that far. I don't want to play that game. And
We'll
so far, we have done 7 Sonic games since we began.
Yes, we
And
have.
today we are doing...
We're doing Sonic Adventure 2.
Yes, Sonic Adventure 2. First released in 2001 for the then discontinued Dreamcast. It was later released that year for the GameCube and other platforms as well, I believe. Maybe just the GameCube. Was it on PS2?
I think it was just GameCube. I don't know. I've had the GameCube copy since I first got it years ago.
Yeah, it's the only copy I have is the GameCube copy. Well, and the Steam copy. I played on Steam. Joey played on GameCube.
Like a kid again.
Yeah, this game was actually... I didn't know this. This game was actually re-released earlier than the Sonic Adventure 1 re-release, which is crazy to me.
Interesting.
Some other fun facts for you about this one. It was released alongside Advance as part of the 10-year anniversary. The game started development immediately after SA1 and development lasted 18 months, so about a year and a half.
Okay.
The game has 2 stories with an unlockable final story, extra missions, time trials, multiplayer, competitive multiplayer, and an expanded Chao Garden from the first game. So a lot of things beyond just the regular story, which of course we didn't play because we're only doing a Golden Path ranking list. Right. Collecting all the emeralds unlocks a 3D remake of Green Hill Zone, which is really cool. And the multiplayer mode has several extra characters, including, well, I'm going to say them all. Tikal and Chaos as hunter characters, Metal Sonic and Amy as running characters, and Dark and Light Chao as shooter characters, with Big the Cat appearing in the Dreamcast version instead of Dark Chao.
Yes, and Big not appearing in the GameCube version.
Of... What? That's what I said. Oh, that's what I said.
Okay.
Well, I meant like Dark and Light Chao are the GameCube characters, and then Dark Chao, or Big was replaced by Dark Chao, because he was in the original Dreamcast. But don't fret, Big the Cat is still in the game because he appears in like every single level in some form of some sort of cameo appearance.
That should also still be Dreamcast edition. He was not in any cameo in GameCube. I saw him.
I saw him a ton of times on my version.
You're playing through Steam. Steam could be the original version.
Yes, but it's also... I'm also running the battle version.
Okay.
He's like in little appearances, like hidden in the stages.
Gotcha.
So if you don't catch him, it may just be because you didn't see him. But I'm not sure. The music was produced by Jun Senoi. Senoi? I don't know how to pronounce his name. With the main theme being Live and Learn, and another theme, City Escape. Escape from the City? City Escape? Whatever one it is.
Escape.
Follow me? Which later in the show we'll be ranking against our other main Sonic themes.
Yes.
And one of my favorite little bits about this game, or maybe least favorite bits because they're really cringy, are these little trailers that appear at the end of every episode. Where it's like when you beat Light Story, you get a little trailer for Dark Story, and it is the weirdest thing ever. And the one for the final story ends with the greatest quote I've ever heard from a Sonic game, which is "Wishes are eternal." And I guess it makes sense in the context of the game, but it really just seems so out of place. It's so weird. But let's get on to it. Joey, your initial thoughts.
This was probably one of my most favorite games growing up, so it was fun to revisit it and play through. I love it. I love this game. I know you were having your hard times at some parts, but I really didn't find any difficulty with it. So definitely one of my more favorite games on this list. So I'm probably gonna want to place it high on the ranking list, but we'll come to that when we get to it.
I had a very interesting experience. I'm not sure if it was the PC version again being weird, but I played through Dark Story first, which was probably the right way to go about it, because I feel like if I did it the other way around, I would have ended off on a much worse note. Dark Story is significantly worse than Light Story, and some of the level designs of Dark Story are some of the worst stages in Sonic history. Rouge and Shadow's final levels are awful. Rouge's final level is too big, the gravity mechanic does not work with her gameplay style, and it is just ridiculous. Shadow's level, those stupid gravity drums are awful. They're terrible. They don't work. They don't make any sense. And it almost ruined the game for me. I was about ready to drop this thing below CD after experiencing that. But thankfully, playing through the Light Side story completely turned it around, and I thought it was 1,000 times better after playing Light Side story and then going through the final story. Oh my god, what a turnaround. I was scared for a moment, because I'm like, I really love this game, I know I do, but these last couple levels are killing it. And Eggman's final level isn't anything special, it just kind of it just came and went. It didn't like do anything crazy for me. But the final levels, the final levels of all the heroes characters are a lot stronger. Knuckles is okay. I feel like it again, it's too big, but it's definitely not as bad as
Rouge.
Yeah, which is called
her final level was, let's see here, Mad
Space. Mad Space, that's right. Mad Space. God damn it is Mad Space. So let's go over the plot. You want to, Joey, explain the plot?
So, oh gosh, I played it a couple days ago and I've already got it out of my head. I can give you the general summary. Go for it.
So Dr. Eggman finds a journal from his grandfather who died mysteriously on a space station.
Gerald Robotnik, yes.
Gerald Robotnik, yes. And learns of a weapon, a doomsday weapon, that could help him take over the world. He goes in there and also learns about the ultimate life form that his grandfather created, and so he unleashes Shadow. And Shadow, with no memories other than a few quotes from Maria
Robotnik.
A wonderful character who I think is Robotnik's cousin, I guess?
She is Eggman's cousin.
Yeah, because I don't think they're siblings, so
no.
That'd be a very interesting genetic discrepancy. I would like to meet more members of the Robotnik family. But Shadow remembers that he is supposed to take revenge on the world, according to those memories. Later, obviously, finding out that's different. But he sets off on collecting the Chaos Emeralds in order to revive the Eclipse mechanic, so he helps Dr. Eggman. Rouge the Bat is trying to just steal gems and help the United States government. I don't know if this is actually United States.
It's our government.
Sort of, yeah. And she is trying to help them, but stop them at the same time. I don't know what her deal is. She's kind of weird. I don't know why she wouldn't just...
she's in it for her own personal gain, basically.
Well, she's working for the government, but she helps them way further than she really should, because if all they needed the Chaos Emeralds to accomplish their plans, why wouldn't she just take the Chaos Emeralds away as far as you can and give them to the government? It doesn't make any sense.
I do not know.
And Sonic's there to stop them. That's all they're doing.
Pretty much, yes.
They clash, and they're finally able to collect all the Chaos Emeralds and start the Eclipse Cannon, but it breaks thanks to the help of Sonic. And when that happens, the space station comes crashing down to the Earth, according to Gerald Robotnik's plan to destroy the Earth. And Shadow finally awakens his rest of his memories and learns that he has to help save the planet, not destroy the planet. Who would have thought? And with the help of everyone, they're able to team up and take down the Eclipse Cannon. But a giant prehistoric lizard stops them and becomes the final boss of this game randomly, completely out of nowhere. It makes no sense.
Yes.
You end up fighting the
weapon of mass destruction.
you end up fighting the greatest final boss of all time, which is a giant space lizard with a satellite shoved up its ass.
Jesus Christ.
And my God, am I not lying when I say that satellite is literally shoved up that dinosaur's ass?
It is way up there.
It's way up there. What'd you think of this plot?
I thought it had a good story behind it, I guess. It introduces Shadow to the fold. And then...
What a character.
What a character indeed. By far one of my most favorites.
I like Shadow. I think he's good. I just don't think he's been utilized well since this game. I think this was the best game he's been in.
Probably so. You're probably right. I definitely think that the plot of this story definitely comes full circle. From the dark side, working hard to achieve what they want, and then seeing, oh God, this is wrong. We need to stop this.
Yeah, it's pretty basic on the surface level. For me, I mean, I like the plot. I think it's wacky and kooky, but I feel like it's a little too grandiose for Sonic at this point. I feel like SA1 did a good job of keeping the plot pretty grounded, where it was like, we're just in a city, we're not dealing with like world-ending. I mean, they kind of were, but they weren't really dealing with super world-ending consequences. At least not all of them. And things weren't going as far as like, oh, altered memories, giant space station, giant laser. Whereas this one is just, just crazy. It just gets it gets a little
all over the place.
A little batty. Get it? Because Rouge is a bat. I hate Rouge. Rouge is awful. An awful character.
Awful pun for an awful character.
I'm watching her in the video. She's in here in the video right now, and just why did they design her that way? What a weird design choice. I mean, I get it. They're horny for bat ladies, but it's just weird. She has boob physics.
Yeah, she does.
I do have to give this game one giant +1 for the fact that this is the only game you ever get to play as Dr. Eggman, and that is a magical experience.
Yes, it is. Even if you're in a mech the entire time, it's still pretty fun.
Yeah, which I guess leads us to our second topic is the 3 different gameplay styles, because this game is broken down into running, shooting, and hunting styles, with each side of the story featuring one character each that fulfills those play styles. What did you think of Sonic and Shadow style?
It's probably my favorite style of the game, but it's the same as it would go for any game for Sonic.
Yep. It's refined in this game. I loved it in SA1. I love it here. Lightspeed Dash is awesome in this game. The rail grinding is the best addition. Yeah. It's the best addition to the Sonic franchise for the entire of this game. Like this is the best part of this game is rail grinding.
I liked the vine swinging in Green Forest. That was probably one of the cooler things that they put in.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And also like the snowboarding.
Yeah, well, I mean that was in SA1.
That was in this too. Very
briefly. but it got its origin in SA1. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is I love it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying as far as like a new feature.
Right.
Yeah, these are easily the best levels. I don't think there's any argument you can make that could say that the Tails and Knuckles levels are better. They're the most consistently good. They all feature great music, great designs. They're very unique.
Right.
Yeah. I guess we should. I mean, they both fit well for Sonic and Shadow, and I feel like they both have their own kind of unique style when it comes to going through these levels, and their music really reflects that like phenomenally. Whereas like Metal Harbor feels different than Radical Highway, which feels different than
Radical Highway.
Yeah,
that was probably a good one for Shadow.
And the two forest levels feel different from each other just based off the music alone.
Right.
But let's move on to the shooting style levels of Tails and Knuckles. I'll start with this one. I felt like this gameplay style really fits with Dr. Eggman, but doesn't fit very well with Tails. Mm-hmm. And while it's not a bad style, the camera's atrocious, but
definitely.
The gameplay mechanic just kind of gets boring after a while. It's a little mindless, and there's not a good sense of speed. Some parts where it's on rails are are fast and fun, but at the same time the shooting isn't very satisfying, if that makes any sense.
No, I get what you're saying. I think it gets stale after a while.
Yeah, that's exactly how I describe it. The Tails' final level, though, my favorite for Tails, is awesome.
Eternal Engine?
Yeah. And the reason why I think the level is so good is because it actually presents a meaningful challenge. Whereas, like, you have to be very reserved about how much you're firing, because if you don't, you'll blow up the station and you'll basically, like, it'll suck you out of the whole room, which I found to be a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, it was a pretty good challenge.
I liked it. That was my favorite Tails level.
Okay.
Oh, what was your favorite Sonic level? And why was it City Escape?
Like I need to explain the music.
Yeah.
The song behind it made it all the better.
It's the most unapologetically Sonic level ever created. But honestly, going through, is it White Jungle is Sonic's?
No, that's Shadow. Sonic's is Green Forest.
Green Forest. Going through Metal Harbor, Green Forest, and what are his last two levels? Final Rush, and
I would honestly have to say Crazy Gadget was my favorite Sonic level.
Crazy Gadget, Final Rush. I found all 5 of those levels really fun, really unique, really enjoyable. I was really scared going through Final Rush because I hated Final Chase.
Right.
And so I was like, I hope this level doesn't suck. And I must have just played it really well, because I got through it, like, probably died once in the beginning and then once in the middle. And I enjoyed everything about it. It was so much fun compared to Shadows.
That was a great level. I think one thing that caught me with Final Rush was, like, all of the stage. It, to me, seemed like it was the Rainbow Road from the new Mario Kart 8, but the high-tech Rainbow Road. That's what I felt like I was on the entire time.
That's a good comparison. Yeah, my favorite Shadow level was Skyrail.
I would have to go to Radical Highway.
Yeah. The music in Skyrail is like, and then as soon as you hit the rail, it's like, it's so cool.
Yeah, he had some good music chosen for him.
What was your favorite Tails level?
My favorite Tails level, I would have to say, would be... That's a good one.
Mission Street?
I was just looking at that, thinking that was probably going to be it. Yeah, I'd go with Mission Street.
It's a good one. It's probably... It doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's... You know, it's fine. I just don't think they're very exciting. I was gonna go back to something about... the desert level for Sonic was the only one I thought was kind of bland.
Oh, Pyramid Cave?
Yeah, it gave you the bound attack, which is pretty cool, but it just was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's meh between all the others.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an Eggman stage that I can really say I liked. I guess Metal Harbor for Eggman. I'm looking at it right now, and I remember kind of enjoying it, but I also died a couple times, and I'm watching myself die, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. I really don't think I had a favorite. I'm Iron Gate, probably, just the starting level.
That's a good one.
Breaking Shadow out.
You know what? I do like that one, because that one is where, as you're progressing through the level, Gun is basically like, Level 5, break through. Level 2, break through. And it's just like getting more panicked. I like that one. It's good. Let's move on.
About Knuckles and Rouge.
Knuckles and Rouge. You go ahead and start. What are your thoughts on these?
I would honestly say I enjoyed their play styles more so than Tails and Eggman. It was kind of cool just to glide around each and every stage and hunt down the Master Emerald fragments and the keys and all that.
I don't hate this playstyle, but I just feel like the levels just can tend to be very big. It's hard to tell where you are in a lot of places. Pumpkin Hills, like, it's like, oh, on Church Mountain, or like, no, it was Ghost Train Mountain, and I'm looking around like there are 2 hills with trains on it, and it's like, oh, it's go to Pumpkin Hill. It's like, what do you mean Pumpkin Hill? This level's called Pumpkin Hill.
Pumpkin Hill.
His final level is also just way too big. It's not as bad as Rouge's final level, and I actually had a little bit of fun exploring it, but... And then Aquatic Mine, it's just not... It doesn't stand out that much. I feel like the only...
Oh, yeah.
like Pumpkin Hill and the first level,
Right.
are the only ones that I kind of really enjoyed, mostly because the music is so good. Because Knuckles
love
is
the music in Pumpkin Hill.
He's literally like it's like, yo, we in Pumpkin Hill. And the first level is like, yo, this is Knuckles. I've been away for a while, but I'm back. Hey, look at that Rouge. See, she's sexy as hell. It's so dumb. Also, Eggman's theme is great in this game. It's his theme from like, I don't know if it's theme from SA1, but it's like a very iconic Eggman theme, but with lyrics. And it's like
the theme when it played during the Egg Golem boss fight.
Yeah, it's like, I am the Eggman. I've got the master plan. I am the. It's great. It's so good.
It's really good. One interesting thing about Rouge is she didn't have all hunting stages. One stage she was in a cart chasing down Tails.
Yeah, the driving sections. I remember those being a lot worse than when I played them. I thought they were fine this time playing them.
I enjoyed it.
They're just kind of. They're okay. They should be a little bit shorter, I think.
Probably so. It went on for quite a while.
Yeah, but they're not difficult. They're so easy.
No.
Just real quick, go back to the Knuckles and Rouge things. I liked doing these stages as Knuckles in SA1. I thought they were short enough and in small enough spaces to where they were enjoyable. Right. But here in SA2, they're so big and so kind of obscure. Yeah. Like if you just can't find your way in a level, and if your clues are too obscure, you have to restart, or you're just gonna be searching forever.
Right.
And just the clues are a little too obscure, and the radar is objectively worse in this game than in SA1.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's so bad. In SA1, the radar will activate when you're close to any of them. In this game, you have to do it in order of what they want you to find, which is just pointless. There's no point to it. It just slows you down. It makes it mind-bogglingly annoying because you could be passing one and you don't even know it. And just, this gameplay style, I guess, works with Rouge's character in a way, but with Knuckles, and this being the second time they do this to him, it's kind of like Knuckles, to me, and I'll mention this more in Sonic Unleashed, but to me, Knuckles always felt like he should be the Werehog style gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like that fits Knuckles better, like a more brawly kind of style.
I agree.
Good. Whereas Tails, I feel like always fits a more of like traversal base where you're crossing over big areas and trying to figure out how far you can get to.
Right.
And I feel like SA2 does a bad job with Tails and Knuckles in terms of their gameplay styles, where they just don't feel like you're utilizing them in the best way. If that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense.
Like, Tails and Eggman style is obviously based off Gamma from SA1, and with Gamma's levels, they were very easy, extremely easy, but they were short and they were action-y in their own way.
Right.
And here in SA2, I feel like Tails and Knuckles levels, they just last so long. They're so much longer. And it's like every time you do it, you're always just like, man, I wish I was doing a Sonic level. I don't know. That's just how I always end up feeling with these levels. I don't hate these levels, and I feel like if they were ever to revisit them, they could do a good job of making them more fun. Right. But I just don't feel like this is the best that these characters could do.
No, they could be far better.
Yeah. Especially since Knuckles' plot is literally the same as SA1.
Yeah.
Oh, someone broke the emerald again. It was me. Knuckles. I broke the emerald.
Favorite stage for Knuckles?
Pumpkin Hill. We're at Pumpkin Hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. It just gave me a Halloween Town vibe, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's very unique. For Rouge, her first level is probably the one I tolerate the most, but her break-in level, where she's in the gun base, I think is pretty cool about what you're doing. But at the same time, it's just it's a little too obtuse.
Yeah, I get that. I'd have to go with Security Hall for Rouge. I think that's the break-in one.
Yeah. That's the one that's playing right now in the video.
Oh, cool.
what's next? There was a point I wanted to make about something, which was I wanted to talk about something about Kiama, something about Tails. No. Is there anything you wanted to touch on?
Boss fights, maybe?
Yes, that's a good one thing. But I actually just remembered what I was thinking. Did you get the breathing necklace for Knuckles?
I did.
Okay. Because I remember, because while I was playing through that level, I beat the level and I was like, wasn't this where you get the breathing thing that you need in like the final levels? Because I remember just like a tip that I read before I ever beat this game. It was like, oh, you have to get the breathing necklace, otherwise the final level will be impossible. And so I remembered at the last second, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I got it. But I was wondering if you had tackled that without the breathing necklace.
I did not. I would not attempt that.
Just imagine. Imagine how bad that would be. And the game does not tell you that that is there.
No, it doesn't.
So, yeah, it's just kind of, like, that's one of those things where it's just like, it's not as directed as it could be.
Right.
Before we get into boss fights, which do you think you prefer? Do you think you prefer this linear progression style where it's level of mixed in characters, or do you think you prefer the hub, kind of more drawn out style that Sonic Adventure 1?
No, I like this much more. It kind of keeps the story going in different directions.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the first style, but go ahead, continue.
No, like, I agree. The first style was really good, but just this seemed to be, a different attempt at it, and I think it worked well to where it was kind of just like, okay, it's not just Sonic. It's like, Sonic, okay, let's take a break from him. Let's go do Knuckles. Okay, now Tails. Okay, now a couple levels of Sonic. Spread out here and there.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it for the Dark story, because I feel like their stories meshed better together, where they're like, they came together very quickly in the beginning, then they're like, we're going to go on a mission. We're going to this military island, and we've got a mission to do. And it's pretty cinematic, and it works pretty well. And then they continue to do missions, basically. And I feel like it works pretty well. Whereas with the hero story, it just feels kind of scattered. Where it's like Sonic's doing his own thing, Tails is doing his own thing, and when you finally get to Tails, he's talking to himself, and he says the dumbest thing ever, where he's like, I guess he knows Sonic's over on the military island, he's like, I'm coming, Sonic, wait for me! And it's like, who are you talking to?
He can't hear you.
Yeah, and then Tails' entire progression in this game is a complete rehash of SA1.
Right.
Which is worse than Knuckles, because, you're rehashing character development. At least Knuckles remembers the Master Emerald chant.
Yeah.
Which I actually like, the servers of the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
One thing I got a note on with the cutscenes and whatnot is just they did not get the timing right for the lines. Like, nope. Some of them just cut right into each other.
Nope. And I think it's even worse in the PC version, because the animations and the textures are very, very weird looking. Yeah. Shadow looks so weird in this game compared when he's standing next to Sonic. They just look completely different, and it's just really weird. And some of the animations are just awful.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Eggman looks really weird in this game, too. I feel like he looked way better in SA1.
Huh. Maybe
it's his tiny-ass head.
Animation right.
The only other thing that I wanted to talk about, with Sonic's story, is the fact that, like, when the team that finally does meet up together, it's in the weirdest way. It's like Sonic is chasing the president at that point, and all of a sudden Knuckles pops up from a sewer grate. He's like, oh, yeah, it looks like I got lost in the mines. And then Amy starts pulling him out of the sewer, going...
He popped up so nonchalant. He's like, oh, hey guys, what's up?
What's up? And Amy starts pulling him out of the sewer grate. She's like, move, Knuckles, you're in the way. Why? Why is he in the way? Why? It didn't make any sense.
Not at all. No, it didn't.
Yeah, and I think I would have preferred if they were working together as a team from the very beginning, and I think that would have made their story a little bit stronger.
Right. Whereas it kind of that's how I went for the Dark story.
Yeah, and just like Knuckles was just like, I'm just gonna do random stuff. All right, let's get to boss battles.
Let's do it.
Oh wait, I mean, it just kind of felt like they just needed Knuckles to do something. That's why they had Master Emeralds. Oh no, they needed an excuse to get the Master Emerald up to space. Essentially. Right. So that's why Knuckles was even in this game. Alright, boss battles.
Don't bash on him like that.
What was your favorite boss battle?
I'd have to say my favorite boss battle for the hero story is King Boom Boo.
Yes, Boom Boo. I was terrified of him as a child.
Very much so. That's a scary face.
He's scary, and then when you run around and he turns around and he goes, so he's hilarious. I love him.
Oh god, yeah, I would have to say he's my favorite for the heroes.
He's awesome.
He was pretty awesome. Egg Golem was also really cool.
It's a well designed fight. I do think that King Boom Boo is so out of place and random. Like, where does he even come from? And Knuckles is like, is that a ghost? And he's just like, oh man. I think Knuckles was in that chamber. He's like, I haven't had a boss fight yet. What's going on? I feel like I should have a ghost. And then
just a random ass ghost.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I love Boom Boo. I like the gun mechs. I think they're kind of interesting, and they each character does something unique with them.
Mm-hmm.
The character versus character stuff are just kind of nothing, except for the final one.
The Sonic versus Shadow boss fight, where they're racing down the road. That's a good one.
It's awesome. It is one of the best moments in Sonic, is them like meeting up with each other. They're just talking casually, and they both just start running. It is so cool. It is just it's perfect Sonic.
Yeah, that was probably gonna be my favorite boss fight for Sonic.
Yeah.
Same for Shadow, obviously.
And Sonic's lines. Some of Sonic's lines are good. Some of them are bad. A lot of Sonic's lines in that whole cutscene are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite Sonic line is when Eggman is holding Amy at gunpoint, which is terrifying, by the way, when you first see it, because he's holding a Glock to that poor girl. And Sonic finally walks in. He's about to deliver the Chaos Emerald to Eggman, and he says the best line in the whole damn game. He's like, "You've become a big time villain, haven't you, Doctor?"
Yeah.
I just think that's such a good line.
That was a good line.
Yeah. Anything else to cover here? Oh, the final level. What did you think of the final 3 stuff? I really liked everyone teaming up together in one final battle. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was great. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought the level design of it wasn't the most amazing thing ever, but at least it was, it was fun to have everyone switch between themselves, and everyone has like a part to play, and then Shadow comes in with the boss. But yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was definitely cool to flip-flop between characters as they go on.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of BioLizard?
Very interesting choice of a final boss.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does come out of nowhere for sure. And then of course, freaking the space colony arc shoving itself into him.
Yeah, no, I think he backed up into it. No, wait a minute. He chaos controlled into it.
Oh god.
He chaos controlled, and I just imagine he was just like, I gotta get out of here. And then he's like, how far can this thing go?
Oh, Jesus. Yes, that's a perfect visualization of that.
You just think about that satellite up his butt, and him just going, you may be wondering how I got myself into this situation. Well, it's a long story.
It's a long story.
I hated BioLizard as a boss fight. Final boss fight is okay. It's a little janky.
I mean, it's literally just the supers just charging in at him, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos is way better. It's
very much so. I agree.
It's built up, it's hyped up, and when you final fight it, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Supersonic fighting the water dragon. It's really cool.
Yeah.
BioLizard sucks. His first boss fight against Shadow sucks. It's terribly designed.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on the final boss for sure.
Yeah. Well, that lizard dropped a lot of balls.
Oh, God.
For whatever reason.
Why was
that a mechanic of his?
It's going to be Space Lizard with a satellite up its ass.
It's definitely the title of the episode. It was such a weird fight, mechanically speaking. His first attack is him shuffling towards you, like rotating to you. He's like, oh, he's over there, we gotta get him. Then spitting out dark balls at you, and then like sweating pink gooey balls at you. I don't know what he's doing with those, but it just like the mechanics of the boss fight don't make sense. It's just weird. I think it would have been cool. Don't. Yeah, I think it would have been cool if it was because he's the prototype of the ultimate life form, Shadow. I think it would have been really cool if he had some really messed up, janky Shadow-like abilities, like if he could chaos control, but it like didn't work as well, and he just kind of warped into weird spots, kind of like Deadpool.
Yeah, that would be better, I think.
Yeah, and some sort of build up to him. Last thing I want to talk about before we get to music is my favorite cutscene in the entire game, which is of course when Knuckles says the Master Emerald theme song, and then Sonic and Shadow look towards the collapsing satellite, and they're like, what's going on? And like, oh, we know what we have to do. And the camera pans towards Knuckles, and he's got the dopiest, dumbest expression where he does not understand what's going on. And he's like, oh, what? As he watches Sonic and Shadow face very close to each other, face to face, while reaching one hand into the air, staring into each other's eyes, just dramatically. And then turning themselves to face the camera, their hands come down as they proceed to jerk off until they become supersonic. It is the most upsetting cutscene I've ever seen in Sonic. They're literally standing next to each other, playing Soggy Waffle with the Chaos Emeralds. It's just it's so doofy looking. You know what I'm talking about. It's so bad. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to show the cutscene while I'm describing it here in the video.
Oh, don't do that.
Because it is, and the only reason I'm going to do that is because I know I can go back and record that scene easily because you can watch the cutscenes.
Right.
It is so funny. It's funnier than the satellite shoved up the lizard's ass. And that's saying something. That is saying something when that can be topped. Is Sonic and Shadow jerking off. Oh my god. Anyway, let's rank the music. So today we are doing our third episode of Rank the Sonic Theme, which is where we take Sonic themes and put them up against each other, just like the games themselves. Today we have two nominees. The wonderful song that is Live and Learn by Crush 40, and the first level theme, City Escape, also by Crush 40. Currently on our list we have Open Your Heart from Sonic Adventure 1 as number 1, and Sonic Boom, the theme of Sonic CD, as number 2.
It's very obvious. City Escape is number 1.
Is it? Is Live and Learn not number 1?
I don't know.
That's a good debate. I mean, I honestly have to think about this. Do I really like Live and Learn. I feel like it's one of like the most like classic defining Sonics. I mean, I guess Cityscape is too. That's hard. That's a good point. Do you think Cityscape's number 1?
I think Cityscape is number 1.
Cityscape is number 1 on our list. Live and Learn number 2?
For sure.
For sure, number 2. All right, there we go. Next week
the song is called Escape from the City.
Escape from the City. Yep. The level's called City Escape.
Yes.
Next week we are obviously doing a non-themed game, but the week after that we've got Sonic Heroes and the hidden gem of the Sonic franchise, What I'm Made Of, which I will probably make a strong argument for why that is number 1. Because it is the most epic Sonic song ever. It is legitimately good.
Me on that one, buddy.
Have you heard that song before? What I'm Made Of?
I believe I have. It's been a while. I'll have to listen to it again.
You will when we play Sonic Heroes.
I will then.
It is a gem of the Sonic franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Let us rank those video games. Are you ready, Joey? Let us bring us up this list. Here's the list.
Ready.
In your face, and for the first time ever, I gave Joey a copy of the list so he can see it himself.
Yay, I'm not guessing.
Number 1, as it currently stands, Sonic 2. Number 2, Sonic and Knuckles. Number 3, Oops, I'm messed up. I brought the list. There we go. Number 3, Sonic Adventure. Number 4, Sonic 3. Number 5, Sonic CD. Number 6, Sonic Advance. And number 7, Sonic 1. Can I take a guess for you?
What's that?
Can I take a guess of where you're putting this?
Sure.
I think you're putting this number 2.
Wow, that's a generous guess.
Where are you putting it?
I was going to put it at number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Why number 4? I thought you were putting it above Sonic Adventure.
Well, I was thinking of putting it above Sonic Adventure, but thinking about all the opinions and
thinking about it more critically.
Yeah, thinking about it more critically. Like, I do enjoy this game a lot, and I probably would pick this up more often than Sonic Adventure. But no, I think 4 is a good, stable place for it.
I think there is so much to love about SA2. I think if we were to do things like throw in some of the extra stuff, I think the multiplayer is really fun. I think the
Chow Garden would definitely speak a lot for
the Chow Garden is such a fun thing to do. Like, it's a shame that we don't actually get to touch it because it is legitimately one of the best designed video game things ever. And that if they ever do a remake of Sonic Adventure 1, they don't do Chow Garden, it'll be a crime. I think we should riot and
like if we were ranking this with Chow Garden included, I would definitely put this in the top 3, no questions about it. But
I feel like if we were ranking this like 100% playthroughs, I don't even know. I feel like
I don't know. 2 for me.
This list would transform if we were to do that. That'd be weird.
For sure. Yeah.
There's a lot to love in Sonic Adventure 2, and I think a lot of the levels do a really good job, but I think that because they have some really bad levels with the Rouge and the Shadow Final levels, and some of the other levels, like the Eggman style levels and the hunting levels themselves, just aren't as fun. Whereas only one third of the levels are good levels. The other 1/3 of the levels are just okay, and another third of the levels are okay to absolute terrible.
And that's just not enough to put it high up on the list, which is why I think 4 is a good place for it.
Yeah, and I think that some of the hype moments in this game are hyper than Sonic Adventure 1. Like I was describing to you playing through Metal Harbor and just how cool that level is, where the music and the setting and the stuff you're doing, like you're chasing after a rocket ship, and then you're exploding and sliding down a giant shaft to the gold ring. It's really cool.
Right.
Are just great, but some of the downsides of the game just don't work, and I just feel like the story is a lot more fun in Sonic Adventure 1 without taking itself too seriously, whereas like this game gets a little edgy and a little too serious for its own good. I like all the characters in SA1 a lot better than all the characters in SA2. Like, I don't like Rouge. I think Rouge is just a weird character that just seems...
Yeah, I would pick Amy over Rouge any day.
Yeah, it's just inappropriate. She just seems... I don't know why she exists. And this game does let you play as Eggman, which is cool, but it does have 3 styles versus Sonic Adventure 1's 6 styles, which I feel like... Yeah. Like, Knuckles and Tails and Gamma are all really fun. Amy's okay, and Big's like...
Big.
If you know how to play it, I guess it's okay, but I don't, so I hate it. But yeah, so... I thought I was going to have to actually... We were going to have to debate about this and flip a coin, because I thought for sure you were going to go with like a 2 or a 3, and I was going to be putting this at number 4. Do I like it more than Sonic 3? See, this is the hard part, because Sonic 3 is such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels weird that...
Sonic 3 is the same as Sonic and Knuckles, essentially. So...
True.
You've already got a game that's almost the same up in the top 3.
Right. It's just like... I don't know, but Sonic 3 is such a good game. It's just that Knuckles, I feel like, has... Sonic and Knuckles is more complete in a way, I guess? I don't know, it's hard to say. It's a weird spot where these games 2 through 4 are all very close. Where CD kind of drops like away from these games.
Advance. It's a Game Boy game, so of course it's not going to be as great as the rest. And Sonic 1, my God, no.
Sonic 1, not a bad game, not a great game.
Not up there with the rest.
Definitely the gatekeeper of mediocrity for the Sonic franchise, Sonic 1.
Oh, just wait. We'll get there.
Yeah. So, Ice Cap Zone, though. Sonic 3 is so good. But I think that regardless of whether or not I vote, if I vote under Sonic 3, then it should still go above it based on your vote. So, I think that is where we're going to put it.
And I'm okay with that.
Number 4. I think it's pretty. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And let's just be fair. Like, these are very close. These are very close games in terms of art.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And like I know
if Chow Garden was a factor, right up there in the top 3. But
number 2.
I have to be fair, so number 4.
So number 1, Sonic 2 for the 7th episode in a row. Is there something that's gonna take over Sonic 2?
I have a feeling we will get there.
What do you think?
I want to say
Shadow?
Generations would take over it. Shadow? Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Sonic Spinball, ladies and gentlemen.
In fact, I'm announcing it here. We are going to be doing the entire Shadow game. We're playing to Super Shadow. Because I want to make sure that game, the legacy that game has in your life is destroyed by having to play through the whole game in a week.
I look
because
forward to that.
That game deserves to be at the bottom of this list, like we all know it does. Below Sonic 06, below Black Knight, below Forces. It deserves to be down there.
How dare you?
How dare I? Generations is very good. Colors is very, very good. I wouldn't even say Colors is probably better. I think I have a good argument as to why Colors is better than Generations.
Okay.
Mania.
Oh,
Mania's
yeah.
very, very good. And I haven't played it enough to really give a good opinion right now. But I think that game is really special.
Right.
And I think those are the only 3 that really have a chance at usurping Sonic 2. So I agree. So we do have some competition eventually. And maybe if we ever get another Sonic game, something might go up there. Maybe, hopefully. Please, maybe. Sonic team. Make a good game, get a good budget, get a good team. Anyway, next week we're doing Sonic Advance 3. Since it is going to take us... Actually, we might not do Sonic Advance 3 next week. We are going to record Sonic Advance... Not Sonic Advance 3, Sonic Advance 2.
Advance 2.
We are going to be playing through it. I believe it's going to be a short game, although I have reason to believe that it's a lot harder than Sonic Advance 1, so we'll see. But we may do a break week in which we do like a Sonic-themed podcast to kind of fill in some gaps here so that we can have enough time to play through Heroes, because I know Heroes is going to take a while because we are doing all 4 stories for Heroes so we can get the final boss.
Right, and we're also, yeah, definitely.
Yep, so we will see you next week for either Sonic Advance 2 or the podcast. We may do the podcast regardless and have it in between just sometime next week.
We could definitely talk about the new, the re-edit for the Sonic
Oh
movie.
My god. We have to do it. Maybe Trevor will get his fan art collection by then and we'll be able to do that.
I hope so.
We may have a special guest next week.
Ooh.
But yeah, we will see you for the next rank, which is Sonic Advance 2. And until then, wishes are eternal.